Hey everybody, welcome to Spilling the IT. Ooh, the music ended perfectly. That was nice. I'm Paul Burke. I handle the social media over at Quest Technology Management, and Adam Burke, VP of Partnerships, is here as well. Adam, how are you doing?
Good, Paul. How you doing?
I'm good. So during the countdown, you were looking puzzled on screen. Was that because your image was changing?
No. I was furiously typing an email and
Huh?
trying to get it out before we went live.
Look at this guy.
Multitasking on a
Look at
Friday
this guy.
afternoon.
No breaks. 2 minute countdown. He's like, let me bang out some emails.
Yeah, it's a couple of things going on, but it's all good. It's good to be busy. Better than the alternative for sure.
What a
So,
professional.
hey,
Well,
try to keep it
um,
light.
how's your week going?
It's good. It's a good week. Yeah, just a lot going on. A couple good things, couple challenges, but all in all, I'm getting after it. It's going good.
I can
How
hear it
about
in your
you? How things
voice.
going?
Good. I can hear a little bit of frustration in your voice, but
Never.
no, never. Oh,
Nope. Never frustrated, Paul. Nope.
boy.
Nope. Completely 100% control of my emotions at all times.
Well, there's nothing
Zen
to read in
master.
there. There's nothing to read into that. My week's been great. It's been very chill. Yeah, it's
Good.
been a good
Right
week.
on.
Nothing exciting,
Right
nothing really
on.
exciting to report. So,
Okay. All right.
um,
All right.
what did you want to talk about this week? Our topic for spilling the IT.
So I was kind of pumped up when we chatted about this, and a good topic that I think is exciting, and what we're seeing is technical support, on-call support, and some services that we've built out really based on just the experience of being involved in professional services, managed services, different integration projects, and meeting clients where they need help.
Mhm.
TOCS is always a really exciting program that we put together. So I thought we could, this week we could talk a little bit about our service offerings around technical support.
Cool. And real quick, if you're unfamiliar with what TOCS, again, it's technical on-call service. So that's what it's short for. So if you're unfamiliar, now you're familiar. Um, so I think a perfect place to start is with one of the beautiful graphics I created. Um, where is it? Oh, here we are. Adam, look at this guy. Hard at work. Don't look too closely at the graphics in the background because that sure looks like a lot of nothing. Um,
What are you talking about? That is a map. That is a map with an org chart and some look like you had a Sweet 16 bracket in the background there. I
it
think over there in the top right hand corner.
it
Looks
looks
like he's got his March Madness bracket going there, but futuristic.
that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a very high tech March Madness layout. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I don't know why in tech pictures there's always a lot of like undertones and like blue, but I feel like blue, if you get a blue tint to a picture, I mean, look at the background you put on today, right? You got the words, you got the code,
yeah,
instant credibility.
it's true.
So,
Let me give you some
yeah.
options, Adam. Let me show you what's not credible. This green, no credibility. Red, what is this? An emergency? No, get out of here. It's blue or nothing.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Professional.
Very much.
Um, what was that?
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
Mhm. So what are some fundamentals? What are some TOCS fundamentals?
Yeah, so technical on-call support is the idea of it really came out of our managed services engagement. So we started doing managed services back in the mid 90s, early 2000s, and we have our accounts all have we have traditional sales people, but we also have service managers, and service managers are kind of like they're the liaison between the customer and our operations team, engineers, all sorts of good stuff. So it was becoming kind of common where we'd come in like after a weekend, and a client would be talking to a service manager, and hey, how was your weekend? Small talk a little bit, catching up on things, and they'd be like, man, we had this VMware issue, or we had this database issue, or we had this XYZ issue, and we, really threw us for a loop, and we had to patch and repatch and rebuild and all this different kind of stuff. Well, maybe our service manager, we worked with that client, say on, like, we helped them monitor and manage their firewall, or maybe we helped them with supporting one piece of their environment. So we're the firewall people, or we're the monitoring people. But what was challenging was we have great skill sets, engineers, and resources on our team who could have helped with whatever challenge they were voicing, over the weekend. Like, hey, a SQL database issue or some table or something like that was going wrong, and they needed some help. So within our managed service agreements, clients could call us for help, but a lot of them necessarily wouldn't think of us for help in that regard. They'd think of us for what vertical we worked with them on, and shame on us for not letting them know we could help in other areas, but they just didn't know they had that resource. So we started making sure our managed service customers knew about that, but we also decided to take our technical support rates that are available to all our clients, and we extracted those from the managed service agreement and said, this is a standalone offering. If you ever need help, if you ever need support, if you ever need to schedule a resource or have a certain engineer available to help, you can open up a support request. You can call your service manager, or you can engage with our team and have access to our entire bench of resources. It could be anything from a cable technician going on site and pulling fiber and helping turn up a new internet circuit, to a senior database DBA, to a security architect, all across the gamut. The entire skill set is on there. So it's really
that's huge.
It's a pretty exciting program. Yeah, it's a huge program. It's been wildly successful over the last few years, where we've made it available. And right now, especially during pandemic and lockdown and people not being able to get to certain places and all those types of things, the remote support capabilities, the incident response, all that kind of stuff is really coming together. It's been exciting to see that kind of help the clients where they're at. So,
I think what's incredible is that the client can just turn to us and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Can you do it? And there's a high likelihood we can, because over 30 plus years of the business, we've acquired it, or we have that tool set that we can come in and help them.
Yeah, and you have the you have the experience and the people to work with that you've developed over a long time. So it's not necessarily, you can't be all things to all people, but core to our beliefs in how we engage with the market is, we know who to call, we know how to engage, we know the parts and pieces that need to go in to help them folks. So if they're going through a refresh, they're going through a migration, they're going through an upgrade, you're moving from on-prem to Office 365, you're moving to Google Cloud, you're moving wherever you're going, however you're doing it, we have capabilities and resources that can help. And that's, a lot of people don't necessarily know where to go for the help. There's tons of organizations out there who will sell you the widget. But helping put the parts and pieces together, there's always an opportunity to help people. So,
because after they sell the widget, they're like, all right, I'm good. I'll see you later.
I didn't say that.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I've heard that can happen.
Yeah. No, here to help, Paul. We're here to help.
And there's a lot of people who need help. So there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's really great too. And I think that's very, I like how upfront we are, that we're like, sometimes we don't know how to do X, but we sure know where to find the person, to bring the person who can help out.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways to engage with clients, and there's so many different platforms that exist out there. I was on a call this morning with a banking institution that was talking about a specific, very, very specific security product that we didn't have skill set in, but we went into our database, researched it, looked for some folks who could help, and provided them with with a few candidates to work with. I mean, one of the things that we do that a lot of people don't know either is technical screening for for staffing, right? So there's the traditional staffing model. I mean, we all know a lot of headhunters out there, a lot of people who help with resource placement, all those types of people. We do that same thing, but what we do is before we place somebody or before we evaluate if someone's the right fit for a company that's working with us, we put them through a technical screening and basically validate, hey, on your resume, you're saying you're a CCIE with this amount of years of experience and all this kind of stuff, command lines, experience. We interview them from a technical screening standpoint before we put that resume in front of a customer. So that's also a technical staffing, technical recruiting capability that helps us. It's twofold for us. One, we get to build out our database of resources who can help, and two, we get to help our client, find the right person from a contractor standpoint or from a hire standpoint.
Nice.
So,
yeah. Couple things. I didn't interrupt you. I thought you were on a roll. Didn't want to slow you down. Thought it was very interesting. I think there's a lot of people out there who wonder what's the difference between, and I have a graphic, and you know what? It's got a blue tint to it. It's got a blue tint because it's tech.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He's so troubled. He doesn't know what the difference between customer support versus technical support. Adam, do you want to kind of dive into that?
Sure. Yeah. So customer support, or sometimes people refer to it as like end user help desk, is one way to describe that. That's for your non-technical folks who are just using the applications that your company has, and they're having an issue with their phone line, or they're having an issue with their desktop, or they can't get Excel to open, or whatever. There's a million different reasons they can call tech support. Printing issues. My wife and I I was going to throw my just kidding. HP, you're great. Yay, love you, HP. But there happened to be a printer that was on my desktop here that I was having a real hard time to get to print, and I felt like a bonehead, but you just, sometimes you need to call technical support as an end user. So we have that capability.
Here's a hot
end
take.
user.
Hot take. Printers have not evolved at all. What's happening?
I don't know. I don't know, but it took an hour out of my day yesterday trying to figure out how to print a document, which is awesome. But no, so you have the customer support, the end user help desk type of stuff where it's just, hey, help with basic moves, adds, changes, or help them with an issue. Technical support and technical on-call support, what we do, it's usually a specific skill set or something specific that customer needs for either a project or a known challenge. So a lot of environments are built on different types of services. You could have your firewalls, you could have your operating systems, you could have all sorts of stuff, and those platforms need care and feeding. They need to be patched, they need to be updated. Typically, when that's going to happen. So technical on-call support could be something like, I need a systems engineer or someone to help me with a specific project. Customer support, help desk is more reactive. You call the 800 number, you get a technician on the phone, help them right there, then and there. Do that all day. Technical on-call support isn't really that reactive mode. It's more of the, hey, it's my help button. I need to schedule someone to come engage and help out in a specific discipline.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
No, that's hugely helpful. So, is there these graphics are very leading. Adam, what are the benefits? What are the TOCS benefits?
Talking TOCS with gold and silver. Oh, there you go. TOCS benefits. Man, you're scrolling through. You got some good ones.
I'm going through them so fast. I should slow down.
Well, the benefits of TOCS are really, there's a lot of different skill sets that are required to manage modern infrastructure. I was back to that banking conversation I had today with a client. They had a lot of different resources in their environment. They had endpoint protection, they had SIM, They were looking for help with just basic monitoring and alerting and tuning those alerts. They needed help with their, I believe they were a VMware organization, which is a lot of their infrastructure was built on VMware. They needed a lot of help in different areas, and it was a 4-person IT team, and everybody's got their strengths, but there's so many different products and so many different capabilities out there, and the end users are asking for so much capability all the time that technical on-call support and having that ability to augment your team with resources on demand is amazingly powerful, because you don't necessarily it's incremental labor. So back to I'm an econ major, I think. I remember a little bit of college, and that incremental, that marginal labor decision between hiring that next employee and committing to that one person versus maybe augmenting your staff with some contractors and some ad hoc stuff. That's a financial decision that can really help people get done what they need to get done, without necessarily maybe taking on full-time employment for those types of things. So it's a way to get more out of your existing resources and augment your team with different skill sets that you maybe don't have on the bench right now.
Nice. So it can freeze up funds. It can free up your time,
Mm-hmm.
and where things could be very frustrating, you can offload them. I'm not a very handy person. In many
Yeah.
ways, calling somebody over to say, hey, can you fix this, versus watching a bunch of YouTube videos and then struggling for days to accomplish something somebody can do in an hour is hugely beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, it's that experience and bringing the right resources to help. I mean, nowadays you can Google almost anything and find some instructional videos on YouTube, but nothing beats experience, and especially when you're talking about working within a professional environment. You don't really want to mess around with making moves and changes to things that can impact your company's revenue or your ability to do business. So I
It
mean, we're back
almost
in the day, we used to have, 20, 30 years ago, there's always the joke of what happened, who did what to the phone systems or to the printers or whatever back in, 3 offices ago for our company, back when I think, Tim and Kathy and the team had maybe 30 people on staff. And the joke was, okay, who moved what because someone patched something over the weekend back in, the early 90s, and all of a sudden something doesn't work. It's like, what did you do? So it's always that, okay, there's the in-house person who's trying their best versus, hey, did we bring an expert in here to roll that patch out, and how are we planning on keeping these things operational and not impacting the business? So it's always a mix, man. It's always,
which
where do
is
you want to spend your time and money?
that's such a great point too. I hadn't thought about that, but if you bring in an expert, whether it's us or whomever, you can always turn to that expert and say, what did you specifically do, versus like
Mm-hmm.
how you alluded to Tim and Kathy and everybody in the beginning. They would have to send that question out to 30 people because they didn't know
Mm-hmm.
everybody had enough access to tinker, and everybody had enough knowledge to kind of explore and try something. They didn't know which of the 30 it was. So just the amount of time reaching out to all those people to figure out the one person who changed it is
Yeah.
exhausting, versus just bringing
Yeah.
somebody in and knowing that is the one person that is like the choke point of data, almost, in a way. Like that's the person who makes the change. So
Yeah, and the idea that they've hopefully done it before and they know a way to back out and,
yeah.
and try again, or recover to where they were. And that's something. I mean, you know, technology is not a straight line. Like, making an update in legacy systems, you make one change, there can be a cascading effect down the line of an update. Um, it's not a one change and everything is fine, type of a universe we're living in right now. So there's a lot of interdependencies between things,
Mm-hmm.
and just it's good technology hygiene, if you will,
It's
to take your time and have a back out plan.
before going live today, I don't do this. If you're about to go live, don't update your Windows machine, because that cascading effect it trickled down and affected some of the software I was using on the Windows machine. So absolutely not a straight line. Everything affects something else. Um, yeah, and that's such like a little microcosm of what we're talking about. But just on my in my landscape, in my view, my purview, what's the difference between a purview and a view? Is purview behind you?
Purview. No, I think purview is is like has to do with your individual, like almost like a paradigm,
Okay, got
like
it.
your interpretation of
Of
what
the
you're
view.
seeing. Yeah,
Oh,
view is an objective thing, and purview is subjective. I don't know. I could be
interesting.
completely full of shit, but I I've been told I am often wrong, but never in doubt.
Well,
So
I sure hope that a bunch of parents aren't having their kids watch this and be like, "Go learn about talks, children. Learn about it." And then they come back and say, "Hey, Adam Burke said this word. Can you please explain what it is?"
oh,
No,
sorry, that's right. Parental,
don't.
put the parental. It has to
We'll
be
fix it in post. We'll fix it in post.
okay. Good.
Yeah, don't worry about it. What
Uh,
was I going to say? I was going somewhere. It's not important. Um, a couple other questions I have. Oh, if somebody, that's not the one. Where's the one? I don't have it. Well, that's all right. No worries. Are there other anything else about talks that you'd like to? Also, here's something I've realized. Talks not a universal term. Technical on-call support, that is
no,
not. Nope.
no, we
Nope.
made it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we because technical support, a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
Technical on-call support, wasteland, nothing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
interesting.
we made it up. There's a great video on the website. Barbara and the team did an awesome job with that one. I love it. That's one of my favorite little animation videos that we have that kind of explains the program.
The Mr.
But yeah,
Smart video.
technical. Yeah, it's a smart video. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It kind of highlights it. But yeah, no, technical on-call support. It really is something that we made up based on our managed services service level agreements, and partners use it, clients use it. It's it's really it's one of those things that we make available to anyone who needs help. We made a little shoot. I don't have it.
Does anybody ever get confused, Adam, when we say technical on-call support? Do they say, "Oh, you mean technical support?" And we're like, "No, no, it's on-call support." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Explain
Well,
yourself."
so that is something that we want to make sure we're very, very clear on. So we're making our resources available
hmm
to be scheduled at the client's direction. And, something we always want to make sure we're clear on is, because we are a managed service company, so sometimes people can assume, hey, this is a managed service, and you're going to be watching my stuff or aware of what's going on, and not necessarily if it's more of just the idea of you call us when you need help. It's basically, you call for assistance and we dispatch a technician on site or we schedule someone when needed. It's not traditional help desk, which we do offer, which is that idea of you call in 24/7, we get a technician on the phone with you at that time and we address your end user issue.
hmm
So that's where it is a little bit of a different flavor there. But yeah, but it's as long as that's clear as far as what's being delivered, that it goes really, really well.
Perfect. I just kind of wanted to dive in and make sure people know there's a difference between all those things.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
cool. Did you find what you were looking for? You said you were trying to.
No, I was looking for we made these little um, oh shoot buttons.
Oh,
I'll censor myself a little bit, but they're little red buttons that had Quest Talks on it. It's the help button. You hit the button, and it was a little tchotchke we gave
nice.
away. It was fun, but that was when we first started promoting technical on-call support. I think almost 4 years ago. Was kind of that, hey, you need the big red help button, kind of the bat phone kind of thing. When you need a resource, you can call in anytime. That was kind of what we had put together.
And we have been doing it for 4 years, or that's when we've been promoting it for a while.
Yeah.
The question that that I thought I had a graphic for that I do not. That is it customized for each client, or do we have a, I know the answer, but is it a cookie cutter approach, or do we have a customization for each client on what they need?
We have a standard build that we operate from, right? So it's a standard kind of a repeatable, scalable off service offering that we have.
Mhm.
We have had some clients tailor it to a specific technology in their environment, right? So they say, hey, I want to make sure I have these types of resources when I call. So we establish a retainer, and we basically build out the service for them based on that specific technology. So, like for example, a lot of people have Microsoft in their environment,
Mhm.
so we've built out kind of a Microsoft flavor of the technical on-call support. We
Nice.
just because how can we help? A lot of customers asking for help in that regard, in that arena, and that's so we do customize a scalable offering. Yep.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for um I know we're coming up on about a half an hour. Anything else that I did not ask or you'd like to cover?
Um, no, I mean, we had, whenever I talk to anybody about our on-call support, or any of our services, and I know we've covered this on the podcast before. We do have an incident response team. We had four pretty significant events kick off this week. Some nastiness going around out there. Don't click on the links that are sent from spear phishing campaigns. It can really mess up your business. But we do have an IR team, incident response team, that can help in emergencies. So for partners, clients, anybody that needs help dealing with some of the nasty stuff floating around right now, always want to make sure that's at the forefront. We're always making sure people know if they need help, they can go to ir@questsys.com, go to our website, or call any of your Quest contacts, and we get that handled quickly.
Cool.
So
Great.
yeah.
Thank you for adding that. Also, if you want to see the video that Adam mentioned, if you click right down there, you will see a link to that page on Quest. And again, you can always reach out to us. Phone number is down there as well. And you can also submit a form on the website if you want to learn more about any of our services. Because as you probably figured out listening, we do a lot. So if you have issues, we could probably help you out with those. And Adam, very important thing. One of the most important things. What are you watching? What's on TV? What's interesting?
Um, The Undoing on HBO.
I've know nothing about it. What's
Check it
happening?
out. It's pretty
Is it
good.
a
Pretty good. Pretty
is
good.
it
Pretty intense.
is it a
Pretty intense.
documentary? Is it a
No,
documentary? No.
no, no,
Interesting.
no.
Okay.
And Real Housewives of Salt Lake. No
Hey,
shame in the game there. It's on. Got the. There's some repressed issues going on there in that one, but we'll get to that later.
wait a second. Are you saying there's drama
Nope.
on those shows? Adam?
Little bit. My wife likes those shows, so it's on the background. I don't watch it. I don't
No.
watch it, but it's on.
Sure. You're just
Yeah.
walking by a lot.
Yeah.
You just keep
Yeah.
walking by
Just
that
keep
living
walking
room.
by. Yeah, that's interesting. Wow, she is very catty. Yeah, but no.
Oh, did I
Yeah.
forget? I forgot my book over here. I guess I'll walk. Oh, I forgot my pen. I better walk again. Oh, I'll go bake some cookies and just walk back and forth.
Yeah.
Adam,
No.
have you
What about
watched
you?
have you watched We Are the Champions?
Have not. No.
It's good. So it's narrated by Rainn Wilson of The Office,
Okay.
and so perfectly narrated because all the sports they're talking about are these niche awesome local events, but they treat it with such respect and like this air of authority, like you would see in The
Mm-hmm.
Office. Like they would say the most ridiculous things in The Office, but say it so straight. And that's exactly how this show is. And
Oh, okay.
it's great. So they did like the cheese. Have you seen in England where they chase the cheese down the hill?
Yeah. Yeah. They sprint down the hill, and it looks horrible. Looks
It
really painful.
really painful. And so they do
Yeah.
one on that, and they kind of follow some storylines. It's really well put together. And now I'm watching one about a chili eating competition. because I guess
Hmm.
the hottest chili in I think South Carolina. So this guy
Hmm.
literally breeds chilies and just tries to make them hotter and hotter. And
Hmm.
this one is over 1 million on the Schofield index, however they measure heat. So
Yeah, I think there's that. Yeah, like ghost pepper is like 10 times higher than a jalapeno on that same grade or whatever. I think something like that. Yeah.
this
We
one
need a Jamie. Where's Jamie? Jamie, Google that. Nope, we don't have a Jamie. Damn it.
this one is 4,000 times as spicy as a regular jalapeno. It's insane. Insane.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
We Are the Champions, super good. Also, Kevin Hart's new special, fantastic on
Oh,
Netflix.
did you get a new special on it? Is it on Netflix?
Super funny. Just
Okay.
he could do anything. I just think he's hilarious. He's so
Yeah,
good.
okay.
So
All right.
yeah,
All
good
right.
stuff.
Is he as good as Tom Segura?
Uh, they're
Just
different.
kidding.
They're different.
Yeah, a little different.
Um,
Right on. I was going to
cool.
say something. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, so my book reviews are starting to trend now. Ryan over at C3, he stepped in and knocked one out today, which was pretty cool. So
Oh.
check that out on LinkedIn. It was kind of fun. I've been doing the book reviews on the kids' books.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked one out today, which was awesome. So
That's
shout out to
cool.
Ryan over at C3. Very cool. So
Awesome. And you can find that over on LinkedIn. You can look at Adam's page. I think we also post them on the Quest page as well. So they're great. They're awesome.
yep,
It's cool.
right on.
Adam, have a good weekend.
You too. Have a good weekend, and everyone have a good Thanksgiving next week. I'm not sure we're gonna hop back on here during the holiday, but
Yeah.
yeah, everyone have a great Thanksgiving.
Have a great Thanksgiving, guys. See you later.